I'm going to be showing you my birthday gifts my lovely family got for me for my birthday this month. Yeah, it was a really, really special day. They treated me really, really well. They took me out for a walkabout and then made me a lovely cake and some of my favorite food. And they really just really blessed my heart so much. What I'd asked for was a couple of coloring things, and then my husband went and he looked through my wish list and he got me some coloring supplies. So part of those coloring supplies was a pack of Posca pens. Now, I really wanted the black and the white ones because of just fine details, and I'm getting so frustrated with my Sakura Jelly Roll white pen. So I found this pack on Amazon. It didn't come in a pack, it actually came in this box, so they were all in there. And my husband and I thought it was really strange, just a Amazon box with Posca pens in. So I've got the different sizes. I've got the really big size, so you can see the nib there. So I've got two of each size. That's the bigger nib. And then I got the smaller size, which is really great for details. And I've already used the white Posca pen on a coloring page, and it was amazing to just have the white pen just flow beautifully over my Prismacolor pencils. So those are my Posca pens. And then my hubby got me 3 coloring books: Mythic World by Kirby Rosannes, Chris Ortega, and Hannah Carlson's Seasons. So I'm going to go through them and do a quick flip through with you. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen Mythic World flip throughs, but I ummed and ahed over getting this book when it first came out because I wasn't 100% sure about how I found and experienced the artwork. Now, I think it's safe to say that I actually really do enjoy, I do enjoy Kirby Rosanne's artwork. I find it relatively easy to color. So whenever I'm in doubt, I just simply go and put the coloring book in my wish list, and then I spend the next year or however many months just deciding how just making up my mind. And I also then wait to see how other colorists color in the pages so that I can have a better visual in my mind, what the page will look like when it's completed. There are so many of these pages, though, that I don't find scary. And I really do enjoy mythology. I love the stories. I've always loved fairy tales. I remember as a kid, I'd go visit my aunt and my grandfather, and they actually had a book which was a collection of fairy tales, and not this typical Disney ones. And I remember every time we visited, I would get that book out and I would look through the book and read the stories. So yeah, these sort of pictures are really up my alley. And I really do appreciate that Kirby Rosannes doesn't go and create Disney fairy tales or myths. He keeps his drawings quite, I find, realistic to the actual mythology and the fairy tales. So I decided I would actually bite the bullet and add this to my collection because I've got Worlds Within Worlds, Fragile Worlds, and Alien Worlds. So now I have the complete Worlds collection, which is fabulous. So yeah, I have treated myself to another Kirby book. I am going to be watching his book when he brings out his new book. I think it's only next year or the year after, and as far as I understand, it's going to be based on fairy tales. So I'm waiting to see what that looks like, and I'll probably take a while to decide. whether or not I will get the book or not. But yeah, I do, for the most part, really like most of the pages in here. And like I was saying to my husband, I think, like, for me, I really appreciate mythology because it helps me with my understanding of different cultures around the world, because then I understand more of their stories and their folklore. So it's like a historical window, so to speak, into the ancient civilizations and what they thought and how they saw the world. So yeah, I do want to do this page. I'm thinking like it needs to be illuminating white light and then kind of make these either dark blue doors or maybe very dark doors with gold or silver pen work. I'd probably use a gel pen and go over all those intricate details. So this one here, because of the skulls covered in flames, I'm like, I don't like the skulls, but I love this creature. So I'm imagining it in like lava colors and volcanic colors. And like this page I really, really like. And the only part I don't like is this part here, because it reminds me of Venom and Carnage in the Spider-Man comic books and films. So normally that sort of thing I won't really go for, but like I said to my boys, if I color it and end up creeping myself out coloring it, then I know I've colored well. I mean, I'm joking and not joking at the same time. Yeah. So I want to first get started with this page. This is Isis, and I'm looking really forward to coloring this page. I'm going to use the Posca black pens to black out this section here, and then I'm going to create this inside portion here red. So I'm looking forward to actually coloring a lot of these pages, and not all of them creep me out. This one is South African folklore, so I'm going to be doing more research up on that to learn more about it. And then these two pages are probably not going to be done for a really long time, because these are two of the pages I don't like. So yeah, they'll probably be the last to be colored in. But I know that, you know, using Inktense pencils on this paper works really well, and then going over it with polys or Prismas. And I think, like, the building work, being able to practice different color combinations for buildings and learning more about shading buildings is going to be really good for me. I want to do this one for Mermaid. I think that will look really, really beautiful. So if you have Mythic World and you would like a color along, please let me know in the comments below and I will get working on it. Maybe we could do it in a live stream together. Let me know your thoughts. So that is Mythic World by Kirby Rozannes. Then I also went and got my husband bought me the Chris Ortega Colorless Kingdom book. This is volume 1, which is the Myth and Fantasy. And it's 30 designs. They're single-sided. Unfortunately, it is Amazon paper. I do like that there's a name for each page, so that is helpful in some ways. And then you've got this patterned black paper. So I know with Amazon paper, if I use markers and go over that with pencils, it works quite well. So I'll probably attempt something along those lines. And I'm also learning to use gel pens for very fine details, just to help speed things up. But I really do enjoy coloring portraits, and I find the animals in this book and the portraits are really beautifully done. So I'm not overly fussed with the fact that it's Amazon paper. Worst case scenario, I cut the book up and I photocopy onto preferred cardstock. But it's also an opportunity to work with my budget sets of pencils and see what I can do with that. So it's, you know, it's all doable and manageable. I quite like this guy. I'm just not sure how to do these things in the background. And her I really love. So my idea is to do a very dark night sky and then fade it into a light blue down here. So it's more of a gradient. I think that will work really well. I like this one too. There's actually quite a few in here I really do enjoy. So as you can see, I've selected this page and I'm gonna work on this one soon. This reminds me of Mulan. So I might actually use Mulan as inspiration for that page. I also really like this one. I think I need to encourage myself to try different backgrounds and not just blue or green. I need to try something different. But I mean, blue and green backgrounds do work, so. And I like that there's not duplicates, it's just a straight 30 designs. I really like that. I'm not really at this stage in my coloring one for coloring the same picture over. Okay, so that's the end of it. There's a little bit of a write-up and then all the social media and where to find Chris Ortega. So yeah, that is volume 1, A Colorless Kingdom, Myth and Fantasy by Chris Ortega. And then finally I have Seasons by Hannah Carlson. So I first bought Magical Dawn back in 2020, and I've done really well in that book in the sense I've done over 20 pages. And I decided that I really enjoy Hannah Carlson. I really enjoy her other books. And Seasons is a book I would like to add to my collection because it covers the entire year. So my husband very kindly went and bought me the book. So now I have something new, and this book I'm not going to treat as a journal, which is how I've started approaching Magical Dawn. This book I'm going to treat like many of my other books and take and see how I can approach it and do my very best and minimize my experiments. So my experimenting book is really Magical Dawn, and there I try out different things and different medium, but I feel confident now. I know how I like to approach Hannah Carlson's books, and you know, I can use watercolor, I can use ink tints, I can use Prismas, polys, castle arts. I can use just about anything, and they all turn out really, really well. And I also like the nature side of this book. So here I've chosen to do this one for Easter. It's just really fun and beautiful. And in some ways, to be quite honest, I prefer the portraits in her older books to the newer books. I find they're easier and they're bigger, so I almost enjoy these sort of portraits a bit more. But yeah, any of Hannah Carlson's books are just amazing. So I'm always happy, and I thoroughly enjoy coloring any of her designs. This one reminds me of these little jeweled watches you used to get, and you could open the wings and then you'd have a little clock inside. I had one or two when I was a little girl, so I'm thinking of kind of basing pick these two bees on that sort of a concept, and maybe making one pink and the other one like a rose gold or maybe a lilac, and sort of do it that way. So I'm going to try and be a bit more careful when I use watercolor in this book, that don't seep through to different pages. And that is the end of seasons. So thank you everyone for joining me as I show you and share with you my birthday presents from my family. I really feel so blessed and cherished by them, and I really appreciate being able to share my excitement and joy at getting new coloring supplies and books. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, do consider a thumbs up, subscribe and comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in other videos. Until next time everyone, take care. Bye for now.